this. Sorry.
Okay.
Or
Sorry.
we are going to be here forever. Me.
Okay. Why don't you open us up? But like the last couple episodes, we haven't done a real intro.
Yeah.
For people who haven't heard, and this is a new series, so let's like really zhuzh it up who we are and stuff.
All right, you guys. Welcome back. This is our third book series. We've had some palate cleansers, but we are in our first episode of our third series of the podcast.
Woo!
Okay.
And I think this series is probably going to bring us to a full year. We will have actually posted for a full year.
It'll take us into August for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. That's exciting.
That is.
Beep.
That's milestones.
Way to go.
By the way, I text Nicole random milestones as we go through.
Yes. Mom and Dad are downloading our podcast a lot.
On a lot of different devices.
On many devices.
My dad has 5 iPhones.
It's like a little iPhone farm just for hightails with the Lit sisters.
Okay. Can I pause for a second?
Mm-hmm.
We never introduced, like, I'm Marissa, I'm Nicole.
We
do this podcast. We enlighten ourselves. Well, yeah, because remember, it's the beginning of the series. I said we need to zhuzh it up. This was the zhuzh.
Okay, future Marissa, delete all of this. We're just going to redo it.
Oh, fudge. Okay. Well, all the good stuff is now gone forever.
Welcome back, guys. If you're back. If you're not, if you're just starting with this series, that's cool. You can do that too. But we are on our third.
You better go back and listen, though. Or we're not friends anymore.
You might be on a list. We're not sure. But we are sisters who, just as a little introduction of who we are, some of you already know. Mom, Dad, hi. How you doing? We're sisters. I am the older,
much more mature.
I don't know about that. Funnier, better, all around. I'm also very humble.
She's just a woman of so many traits. Just more adjectives. Throw more adjectives at me.
I am. When you look at the podcast art, I'm the one with the glasses and the gray hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm the other one. That's what they always called me. It was Nicole and the other one.
The other one. No, the reason I said all those things before is because she is actually the prettier one, the funnier one, the all-around nicer one. I was leading into a good compliment.
Oh, thank you. And I'm the one that actually does the artwork.
You do. And the editing.
Yes.
She does the hard stuff.
You pick the books.
I pick the books. I type up the notes that Marissa doesn't use.
So, now that we got really awkward, my name's Marissa.
I'm Nicole.
And we enjoy reading books. Mm-hmm. And we decided let's talk about them on a regular basis and have a really good excuse to do this regularly.
Yeah.
While we enlighten our minds with other substances.
That we also enjoy doing regularly.
And podcasting is a great excuse to do this more regularly.
We're like, sorry, kids, we have a job. We have a job that we have to go to.
Yeah, we got a side hustle. Everybody needs a side hustle.
And when I say kids, I don't mean kids. I actually mean husbands. Sorry, husbands.
I love you, husbands.
We're leaving. All right. So our third series, we obviously am kind of staying in the fantasy realm. We've talked about fairies. We've talked about dragons. And now we're talking about vampires. Ooh. You're taking my job.
Well, I'm just showing you that anybody can do it, and it's probably better than yours.
I can do anything you could do better. I could do anything better than you. This is the second born. They always steal your thunder.
Because they're better? Question mark.
I have not allowed you to steal any thunder for many a decade, so we'll let you have sound effects.
Retribution. I'm finally heard and seen.
Okay, so the series we are starting is The Crowns of Nixia.
Nixia.
Crowns of Nixia. So the only thing I really want you to know about this series is...
Nyaxia. I just looked at my board of notes.
I was just going to say, the board is nicely placed for you. The Crowns of Nyaxia. I read it differently every time. So, the Crowns of Nyaxia. This will be 3 duologies. So this is the first series we've read that's interconnected, but not necessary. You don't have to read them in this order or anything like that. Which I'm excited for. It'll be
Yeah.
different.
And just to like go back to our podcasting rules, we will spoil backwards when we read the second duology. Just so you know, that's part of our rules.
That works.
Yeah.
They're supposed to not really matter though. Like I don't think we're going to be giving anything away.
I want to be able to say, "Oh gosh, remember when he was in the last book and he did Like I want to be able to do that.
I don't know if they're going to be in there.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I was promised something.
When we get to the character that I think the next duology is about, I think that'll show you how much like these characters will be in that book. Now, this one, vampires. How excited are you to read about vampires?
I really love vampires.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of all things vampires, pretty much since I first watched Interview with a Vampire.
Ooh.
Brad Pitt got me.
Wow, dating yourself.
I mean, that was like 1997, right? I'm looking it up right now to see how old I just made myself. Shit.
I thought you were going to go Twilight, you know?
Well, like
I liked me some Twilight.
No, Twilight's all right, but that's not the most
Team
iconic.
Jacob.
Well, of course.
So you were actually into werewolves.
No. Don't you go there. Don't you dare bring that up again.
I'm just saying.
I'm more into vampires. I just don't think Twilight, and this might be controversial, I don't think Twilight is a very good vampire movie.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that statement.
I think it's a very good vampire storyline for the book.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan. It's not
casting?
the best. It's not the best vampire movie out there.
Yeah.
There's so many cool ones. There's like so many cool series about vampires and stuff. Like
maybe I need to broaden my vampire.
Yeah, Vampire Diaries. Come on.
I do love me some Vampire Diaries.
So Twilight versus Vampire
Diaries. You didn't even watch my favorite series of those series.
Exactly.
Legacies?
Legacies was like
No, that was the lame one.
Yeah, you didn't like
the
that
originals.
One. The originals.
The originals was by far way better.
Yeah.
Than
See, and I feel like both of you and I, for Twilight, I lean more werewolf. I connected more with werewolf. So
agreed.
I was kind of like, those vampires are kind of the clammy type of vampires.
They really
I like
were.
my vampires more manly. I don't know.
Dude, you have to watch the originals.
Okay.
It's
I just
so
really
much better.
Don't like Klaus.
How dare you?
He just was.
If you only
he was
watched,
very villainous, and
you
I
only
can't
watched,
get over the villainousness.
You would. If you
like
only
he
watched
killed
him in
all of his
I know.
family.
No, he didn't.
He like put them. He like statued them for centuries.
Okay. They're all kind of assholes. All right. And I'm not going to lie. Rebecca deserved it. She kind of deserved it for a little bit. Okay. They do it back and forth to each other. You would feel very differently about Klaus. If you've only seen him in Vampire Diaries, I can understand how you're like, no, not. But Klaus is my favorite.
He does have like that tragic thing with
charisma.
Yeah.
Somehow he's charismatic.
I love the tragic love stories.
Yeah.
Like the classics literature that I lean on is like
it's because
Jane
he's a villain.
Eyre.
He's a villain that's quite obviously a water sign because he's sensitive as hell.
Okay, now you can.
Klaus has got to be a water sign.
You cannot just make up what these characters' birthdays are.
I'm assuming I'm correct.
Okay, now I'm gonna make you do this for every single character we learn today. Nicole, what's her sign?
What's her sign? We shall see. All right, so our first book that we're getting into in the first duology, The Serpent and the Wings of Night. And then next we're going to read Ashes in the Star-Cursed King.
We get to do a cabin weekend.
We got a whole bunch of these, man. Because we're going to have another Akatar. We're going to have more Fourth Wings.
Yes.
And we're going to have more of these.
This side hustle that we're doing is getting pretty expensive.
Listen, it's a freak stay at a cabin. It's not really that expensive. It's just time away from our family. Okay. All right. So let's get into this book, Marissa.
So, vampires. Don't you start.
I know. We need to be serious. Let's go.
Okay. Just kidding. Okay. So, zoom in. There is this little girl, a little human girl, standing next to a dilapidated building. War looks like it's going around everywhere. It is gray and cloudy and gross. And she looks like this little itty bitty thing. The narrator is kind of like, she could be 4, she could be 8. We have no idea because she's either malnourished and humans always look tiny and everything like that. And all these
They
vampires,
are kind of mocking her. Like the narrator's mocking her.
And I mean, you're mocking a little girl. Like, don't you have bigger fish to fry?
Well, it's our first foreshadowing into the fact that these are cattle. Like humans are thought of just as like cattle,
Yes.
basically.
Yes. And so we're finding out through this like story of this girl that these are vampires and they are basically destroying all the
human
land.
village
The
around
human
her
village
is gone.
because of some feud with other vampires.
Right.
And they are actually like, sweet, there's a human still alive. I get supper tonight.
It's
Actually, she's
literally
more like a dessert.
It's literally like I thought of the goat in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Like she's just kind of, because she was
Yes.
stuck. Like her ankle was like stuck.
But the
And these 3 vampires are
Yeah,
like,
just like,
look.
and the interesting thing about this little itty bitty girl is she has a don't fuck with me attitude just with her face.
Yeah.
And most little kids would be crying or like trying to hide or scared. She is like looking them dead in the eye and like, you can't take me anywhere.
She's like, fuck around, find out. Let's...
Yeah. Yeah. And so all of a sudden, this major person figure comes forward and all the other soldiers are like, oh, sorry, sir. We'll take care of this. This is just a silly little girl. And he's like, no, I got her. He lifts her up and he grabs her and he is the king of this world.
Yeah.
In this battle, and he is taking this human girl and he's just noting to himself this whole time like, she's vicious, and he like goes and tries to like wipe a tear off her face or something, and she like bites his finger and starts like gnawing on it,
won't let go,
and he's like, you remind me of a young me. But this is an introduction to the king of the Nightborn, which is a vampire clan in this world. The reason why we do Nyaxia is because Nyaxia is the mother of the vampires. And so she is
goddess.
Like the goddess. Yes. And the little human girl is Oreya. And she actually gets brought up by the king of vampires as a human, which is a very interesting tale. You don't see that very often.
You don't.
Usually they get turned into vampires.
Yeah. Usually they get eaten, I think.
Fair. Okay. So push forward 10 to 15 years because we don't know how old she was at that point in time. But now Oreya is a grown-up. She just turned how old?
Oh, I don't know.
She's like in her teens, late teens.
Something. They usually are 19. So let's just say
she's
19.
19, probably. And so she is actually stalking around, and she's just talking about how disgusting this vampire is and how he is stalking a child playing, right?
In their like front yard.
Yeah, in their front yard. And so she is just like, screw this guy. And she comes out and kills him. Like she takes the knife to the wings first and hits the 4 tendons so that way he can't move. And she's just,
it's very obvious she's a very trained killer at this point. So we're in the Nightborn clan, essentially, right? Her dad is the Nightborn king. But this is where we learn that there's a difference between Nightborn vampires. So there's Rashawn and there's Hyja.
Yeah.
And her father is the Hyja. So the Hyja have control right now. They have bat-like wings. So that's a vampire that she was killing right now for stalking this little human. Bat-like wings. And she was talking about how it's harder to get through the Rashawn wings because they're feathered.
Yeah.
So
So
Interesting.
interesting that clans are so separate
Real quick.
with the wings.
Which kind of wings would you rather have? We've read about a lot of wings at this point.
I feel like I need to know more about the structure of the wings. I think I'd want the bat wings. I'm going bat wings.
So I think looks wise,
Yeah.
like to go with my outfits
Yeah.
and all of that, I think feathers would be way cooler.
Yeah.
Right? And we're going to get to it here. We're going to get the description of these different wings, which are always impressive. I just think feathers would be pretty. I think they'd be a little messy.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you wouldn't be able to handle
The
how
shedding.
the
It's just a lot of shedding, you know?
I feel like it's like leather versus a
It is like a leather coat
Yeah.
versus like what? Like a fur coat?
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Both killing animals.
Bat wings, though. I don't know, man. Anyways.
Okay.
Okay.
So she kills him, and in her head, as she's like stabbing him in the chest, is her adoptive stepfather, the king of the Nightborn,
Yeah.
Vincent's voice saying, "Press harder. You've always got to press as hard as you can to get past the sternum."
Right.
Right?
Right.
And so she kills the vampire, and then she starts talking about, yeah, it's really frowned upon to actually kill vampires, but that guy was a jerk anyway.
He was such an ass, wasn't he?
And she like looks up and there's a human family that's just like watching her murder this. And so she like slowly slinks back into the darkness.
Well, and I thought it was interesting that she knows she's human, right? But she thought of them as weak.
Yeah.
Like almost like she's a vampire.
Yeah.
But she also thought very disgusting. Like she didn't like the vampire either. She was kind of disgusted by him.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So inner turmoil already. I like it.
Yeah.
She's like, oh shit, I gotta go back. I'm running late. And she is actually climbing up the side of the palace, right? And she's like, you know what? I got time. And she actually ends up climbing through a friend's window instead. And this friend, Ilana, is actually a human. So we know that, okay, yes, she's raised by vampires, but at least she has one human friend. That's Ilana, and she is sassy AF.
Oh, what I love is Aurea goes through the window, slips on silk, and we hear her like, you idiot, like basically
with her like haggard, like smoke breath,
her smoker's cough, and like making fun of her and talking shit. Yeah.
But turns out there's this whole community of humans that pretty much are like
voluntarily are human donors.
And she talks about how usually they only last a year because people accidentally grab blood and kill you.
Yeah.
But Ileana has been around for a decade.
For a minute, man.
Yeah. And she's sassy.
Well, and she saw like her throat, you know, and she's like, don't worry, I was paid well for it. So it's very night worker-esque.
And so she like is like, Ileana like gives her a dress and is like, here, I know you pretend you don't like the pretty things, but this would look great on you.
It was a scarf.
It was a scarf. And basically Aurea is just like, you need to leave. You are going to die. There's this huge festival. And this is where we hear a little bit about this thing called Kejari. Kejari is like this huge festival that happens once every 100 years.
It's not a festival.
Well,
it's a Hunger Games.
It's a Hunger Games, and you can go into the Hunger Games, and basically you are saying, if I go in, there's only one winner, so everybody else will die around me, but then I will get a wish from our beloved goddess, Nyaxia. And she's like, there's going to be so many vampires coming into town. They're going to use you like cattle. You need to leave, go somewhere safe.
It's just not probably good to be a human, smelling all human-y.
Yeah.
When like there's going to be more people from the capital here.
Which I'm like, Aurea, you're such a hypocrite.
Well, I think
you smell like a human too.
Yeah, but she obviously knows she's a badass as well, you know.
And she's the stepdaughter, or she's the adopted daughter of the king.
Ileana's like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. And she's like, it's just not smart. She's like, okay, fine.
I'll leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I do love as they're leaving, they have a really funny relationship. Like as Oriah is slipping back out the window, she's like, "Don't drink yourself to death, you old hag." And she's like, "Don't skewer yourself on that stick up your ass." And you kind of heard, I mean, when I listen to it, you hear the lady like
Yes.
narrating it, which is always fun in
Yes.
all honesty. Don't skewer yourself with that stick up your ass. So she's in her room at this point, and Vincent comes in. They also have a very sarcastic but loving banter. Like Araya says, "We never sound more affectionate than when he's insulting me." It's like that's how she gets her love. That's Vincent's love language, is like insulting her a little bit. So
Which I feel is very much how we were raised. I feel like sarcasm is the best parenting tool, right?
I mean,
No, just me.
if your kids get it, it works great.
If your kids don't, it's kind
You're
of
their
bullying.
first bully, I guess. I don't know.
I hope my kids are smart enough to know it.
Yeah, exactly. So they start training, and we learn a lot about their relationship, I feel like, through the training. So Vincent's always protected her, but he's always made it very clear her whole life that death was waiting around the corner. And he
Yeah.
is the only one that will protect her. Everyone else wants you dead. It was like the constant repetition. Everyone wants you dead.
Yeah, people may say pretty things to you, but they're all lies.
They're
I'm
all
the
lies.
only one that won't hurt you.
Right. They're like the whole time again, they're like fighting. And she thinks about a lot of different things. She like is better. She's a lot better. So she's recalling how he used to beat her and he never let up. I just thought of like a guy playing basketball with like a little kid and is just like, "Get out of here." Like he was always to the 110%. And she was actually besting him in this. And when she got him like right at the end, she's like, "Gotcha." And he's like, "Or I could use asterisk and you're dead." And she's like, "Well, son of a bitch." So this is where we find out Asteris is like pure magic, like from a pure star. Not everybody has it. He's the Nightborn King, so he obviously has it. But essentially, you could just like light the room with power and like kill whatever you want. Which I don't really feel like that's fair. Because you would always win. So why are you sparring? That's not fair. She'll never win. As always, or I could use asterisk. Killing you instantly.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of bogus.
We also find out that Vincent became the Nightborn King when he won the Kejari 200 years ago. But he won the Kejari and took control back from the Rashan. So the feathered Nightborn ones. Yeah.
Well, not only did he take control back,
Yeah.
he took away all of their power.
Yes. Yeah,
So-
you like stripped the, well, it's, what was his gift? It kind of made me wonder what his gift actually was. But it was like to strip the power of that like line, essentially,
Yeah.
so that then now he would have enough power to take over and take control. We also find out about the three houses, just what they are. We're going to find out more. I'm assuming each duology is about each different house.
Let's hope so.
That's what the first two are. Well, that's what the first two are. So we know that's what they are.
So this is the Nightborn one.
This is the House of Night, right? Which is very similar to all of our other themes in our fantasy books. The next is the House of Shadow, and then there is the House of Blood. And as we meet these characters, we'll talk a little bit more about what the Shadowborn house is known for, what the Bloodborn house is known for. The Nightborn house, though, is known for this like night fire, right? Like this power of Astrus. That night, Vincent is hosting a feast. He's king, right? So all the travelers that are coming in for the Kejari are coming over for a feast.
The reason everybody's coming in is because anybody can join the Kejari.
Right.
And so what they have to do is they would just have to like commit to saying, "Hey, I'm doing this," and then everybody else will be there to watch.
I declare Kejari.
I declare.
There's a little more to the ceremony than just being like, "Hey, I want this."
I want this. I'm in it. Let's do this.
So they're walking around the feast, and Vincent's like pointing out. I the different like ailments
Yeah.
of the people they already know who are committed. And the way they know is that's why I was joking about the ceremony. Some of them have like a bandage on their hand. So there's a
Yeah.
little like slicing of your hand. So he's like, that one right there's got a bum knee. That one's
Yeah.
shoulder. That one strikes this way, giving her different tips.
Which is perfect.
Right? Inside. And oh, we also meet Ibrahim. Is that how you say his name?
Ibrahim.
Ibrahim. And he's like disfigured.
Yeah, this is such a sad story.
Well, and it's very common for a lot of our
Yes.
vampire people.
So the whole ideology of vampires live forever.
Yeah.
And then it's the same thing that happened in Akatar and things like that. But when you live forever, that means everybody below you is waiting for their scrap.
Right.
And
So children are competition.
yeah, so any child that shows some power or some early evidence of being great, like they mutilate them.
I'll be honest, at this point, I didn't even think you had to show a glimmer of power. Like in Akatar, it was like once you started to show that you were going to be the heir,
Yeah.
right? Because the heir in these worlds doesn't mean second or firstborn,
No.
essentially, right? It's like who the power goes to. I didn't get the impression that that even mattered.
No.
It's like anybody could, because anybody could win the
Yeah.
Kejari possibly. So we're going to disfigure you so that the allure is not there.
They took out his fangs.
Yeah,
Crippled him, like his leg.
Yeah.
And they did something to his wings.
I thought they like kind of like sliced him or pinned him or
Yeah.
something like that. And
Poor
he
guy.
was still there,
Yep.
smiling all fangless.
Oh, gosh.
As they are talking, as Vincent and Oriah are talking, Jasmine walks up, we find out is the newly appointed guard of Vincent. And the person before Oriah had known, I think, her whole life.
Yeah.
And trusted a little more. It wasn't that she didn't trust Jasmine, but she was a little, we get the impression she's a little weary about her.
Yeah.
And we get the impression that maybe might be because Vincent likes her a little too much.
Yeah. Well, I think her adoptive father did instill a lot of stranger danger when
Skepticism
he
for
always
sure.
said, don't believe anybody but me. Everybody's going to try to kill you.
I mean,
So,
a
I
little
mean-
codependency.
I feel like she was brought up to be sus,
Yeah, yeah.
but yeah.
I also thought it was very interesting that when Jasmine first walked up, her nostrils like slightly flared. And it was just very slight, but you saw how Vincent and Aurea changed and how this was a constant like theme. So
Yeah.
he went into more protective mode and she kind of flanked and went away. And they just it's like something they've done numerous times.
Yeah.
We also learned that she doesn't go to many of these parties.
No, she doesn't, because she smells like human.
She smells good, you know?
Yeah.
So later that night, Vincent is actually giving Oriah kind of a pep talk. And this was our first indication, or one of our first, that she would say this was Vincent the father, not Vincent the king. And we'd see that mask
Like switch back and
flip
forth.
back and forth a lot. Oh, definitely. He told her that he was frightened when he was in there. And he made the comment, my only path to a life worth remembering. Death isn't frightening when the weight against it is insignificant existence. And her first reaction was, so is what is this then that I'm
Dude.
living? It's pretty insignificant if it was insignificant for you.
Then what is my life?
What does that make me? Because
It's
I'm
like
human.
when the skinny girl next to you keeps talking about how fat she is. That's how I always feel.
But she's very real in her head
Yeah.
about all of these feelings.
yeah.
He did tell her you don't have to do this, but I did get the impression that she did have to do it. But I
Yeah.
thought it was sweet that he's like, I just realized I don't think I've ever told
I've
you
never
that.
said it.
You don't really have to do this. And we heard before with Ileana, she was like, oh, that bastard's making you do this, isn't she? So in that conversation, she was very much against her doing this and doing it for Vincent
Yeah.
as well.
And we're assuming that this is her actually turning into a vampire.
Something. It's got to be something like
Yes.
that. But they don't say that, so you know there's more to it, or it's not quite that, or something at this point. She is recalling like the story of when she first met Vincent and how he pulled her from that territory. We also learned that it was a Rashawn territory, right?
Yeah.
And the only way she could go back, like you can't enter an opposing territory. So something was going on where Vincent had an excuse to be in the Rashawn territory and conquering parts of it. And that's where he took her from. And if she wins this, she'll be quote unquote like strong enough to go back. So that's really how we know like there's something going on here.
Yeah.
To where she'll be able to do that. And we learn it's called a courtier. That's what she's going to ask for. So it means he will have her power and she will have his.
And there will be forever linked.
Yes.
And share.
I will be honest with you instantly, and it might just be the fantasy reading. I'm skeptical. Because why would he need her? She doesn't have power.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, there's more to this story here. It's not just so she can be strong enough to go back to her village.
Yeah. No, I don't think that's the why. I think it's for him to maintain power for longer.
Oh, for sure.
But
there's more strategy.
I also thought it was along the lines of, because they do talk about how in the turning into a vampire process,
yeah,
a percentage of people die.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just see this as like he fell in love with his daughter and he wants to be able to rule, like keep her alive forever, but I don't want her to die.
I think that's the nice way to look at it at Vincent. I was like, there's more to this.
I'm rooting
Why
for
the hell do you want a human girl? You just fell in love with her because she was feisty?
No, fair. No,
like,
fair.
I'm just skeptical.
That's interesting that he saw this in a human girl.
Yeah.
But that's the only safe way to train her for her whole life to do this. That's the only safe way to keep her alive forever.
Yeah, I know. I just...
You don't appreciate
jury's
it.
out on Vincent.
Okay, fair.
So that night, they do the ceremony. Like, they cut Aurea and, I bound Nexia to enter this contest, this coloring contest.
Oh!
And she goes to sleep, and she thinks she's in a dream, but she's not when she wakes up.
No.
Where is she, Marissa?
She wakes up in the Moon Palace.
Dun, dun, dun. Which we learn is only used every 100 years.
Yeah. So
right?
she's like, it's kind of dusty, but it's completely dark.
Right.
She can't see anything. And she's
and
like,
they thought they were going to have a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Like this was just starting, or a couple days at least, right?
Yes.
So it was early.
So it was very early, but it's completely dark. And she's like, shit, vampires can see in the dark. I cannot.
Right.
So
they can hear too.
I'm at a super, super duper disadvantage, not just the regular ooper duper.
Well said.
Thank you. So she's like crawling around and she's been studying for this for her whole life. So she knows the plans of the Moon Palace and she has in her head, I just need to find stairs. I need to go up because at the very top of this one spindle, there is an open air window thing and I'll just be able to stay alive until dawn. And so she's just looking for stairs in the dark. I actually pictured like, what if like everybody else has night goggles on? What if people are like, why is that human just crawling on the ground? Because they can see everything. And there's somebody probably in the room.
Well,
with her.
and not only that, think about this. She's hearing bloodlust all
Yes.
like,
yes.
like all around her.
And
pitch
screaming.
black. And then what if some vampires are like biting and then they're like, what the hell is that?
What's that lady doing crawling on the side of the wall?
We'll get to you later.
I feel like it's like when you catch a little kid and they like just pause to see if like you can't see me, right?
Or our brother sneaking out at night.
Yes. So I forgot about this.
I'll tell the short version. My dad used to smoke and he went out on our back porch.
Sorry, tobacco. I just want to be really clear.
Well, it wasn't legal then, but not that there's anything wrong with that. No. So he went out to have a cigarette and my brother, granted, we lived on like a neighborhood pond. So there's not a lot of trees. There's not a lot of foliage. There's not a lot of landscaping, right? It's a very suburban, thing area, but it's dark outside. And my dad's just sitting there looking at the pond, and he looks over, and my brother is sprawled out in like a star
He
shape
had
on the
snuck
grass.
out earlier,
He had
evidently.
snuck out of the basement window and was trying to sneak back in. And my dad had come out to have a cigarette, and he thought if he just flattened, since it was dark out, no one would see him. But he just looked like a 17-year-old kid
laying on the grass.
about to do like grass angels or something. And my dad just looked at him and goes, "Get your ass inside." Like, what are you doing, idiot?
So that's what I pictured.
I'm sure he was completely sober.
Yeah. But she's like trying to find stairs. She finds some stairs and she starts climbing. And she's like,
Oh, wait.
okay.
No, but first,
What?
she reaches to find her knife.
Yes.
And what does she do?
She pricks her finger and like.
No, she like cut herself.
Yeah. Immediately in her head, she's like, God dang it. The only thing that Vincent said is don't bleed.
Don't bleed.
Don't bleed.
And now she's like gushing blood.
Yeah. So it's like.
As she's crawling around, putting her hands on the floor and
just,
the wall.
Let's leave a trail of smelling.
Of DNA.
Like, not even DNA. Like, just come get me. This is like breadcrumbs.
It is.
She's leaving blood bread.
It's more like the
blood
savoriest.
breadcrumbs. She's leaving
Blood crumbs everywhere.
blood crumbs everywhere.
It's like the blood bubbles from Akatar.
Okay. So she's
If you don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go back and listen to our Akatar series.
It's really good. We work some stuff out, so there are some tense moments.
You guys don't know though. Marissa edited them out.
I tried. Some I couldn't get out. Some you can hear the rage in our voice. I'm just kidding.
It's like the Bart Simpson, like, ah!
Okay. All
right.
We're still on page.
She finds
1.
the stairs though.
Okay.
Of the notes you don't even use.
No, I don't. So she finds the stairs. She starts climbing, and then as she's climbing, the screaming is getting louder and louder, and she recognizes the voice.
Which is funny. I shouldn't say this is funny. This is not a funny part of the story.
I was going to
But-
call you a B word for that.
What did Elena's scream have to sound like for her to recognize it? When we already know she just is like a smoker.
Yeah. Again, with this, really.
That was all a setup just to do a sound effect.
Fair. Okay, I figured you would.
You know.
So she hears Ileana. So now she starts running. I don't know why she's running towards it, but she's like trying to get there. And it almost feels like every time she gets closer, it gets further away. Mm-hmm. So she's remembering in her head that the Moon Palace gives you what you need when you need it. So she's like, okay, there's some weird stuff that happens here. But anyway, she starts going and she's climbing off the side and she feels like hands on her sides and it says, don't go. She's already dead. If you go, you will be too.
Yeah.
And she grabs her knife and she stabs that dude in the leg. Says, don't
Basically
touch
like,
me.
Fuck you, dude. Not a good suggestion.
And just keeps running towards Ileana's.
The line is literally, so I stabbed the fucker.
Yeah. And she did.
Yeah.
And so she's like, great. I'm leaving my blood breadcrumbs and I've just pissed off somebody. Actually, she doesn't even think that.
No, I was just going to say she doesn't care.
telling you that because it's silly that she didn't think that.
I don't think so.
She
I wouldn't
just
think that.
stabbed somebody.
She's like, so I stabbed the fucker, and then she runs off. This is where she can't get there. She
No.
can't get there. And she keeps hearing the screams until they become a gargle and stop. Can you imagine listening to your only, like, real friend die like that?
No, I didn't ever want to try to picture it.
And
so
this is supposed to be a funny podcast. So moving on.
great story, Nicole.
We're pretty sure Eliana's dead. Ileana.
Ileana.
Say your name right.
Okay, you really know how to bring down a podcast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So she does hear a presence behind her. She hears like a female voice. And she, again, strikes really hard and sprints away. Again, keeping her blood breadcrumb fingers all over the wall.
Just leave that
And
evidence.
somehow she's running up the stairs, and she just runs into a greenhouse. Okay? At the top. and she hides. No one's going to be able to hide from the sun in here. So if she can just like chill out and not draw anybody with the trail of fucking blood that she took all the way to the greenhouse, but if she can hold out till dawn, she'll be fine. She also, I thought, was interesting. It's a good spot. She's like, I can hear anybody coming from the leaves.
Yep.
And there's only one door. There's only one place to be in, so only one place for her to work.
But
Look,
these were not in the blueprints. There was no greenhouse in the blueprints.
So with that being said, to add on to that, the sun comes out. So she ventures out. She starts climbing the stairs. And she's like, I thought I climbed to the top. So how am I still climbing stairs? But somewhere around like 3 floors up, she just smells like rotting flesh. And that's all she sees. She finds Ileana on a balcony with other human bodies. And the description of it is she's like, if I can call it that. Because it's so disfigured. She just looked like meat are the types of things that we heard. She could tell it was her face, but like it didn't really look like her face anymore. And she like cradled her and just kept thinking it was like 12 hours that separated her alive to death. And remember, this is early. They had thought they had at least days, but I wanted to say it was like weeks until this was supposed to start.
Yeah.
Then
she actually found the dress. So Ileana, Ileana had given her the scarf to say, this is pretty. And she said, give it back to me when you come back.
Yeah.
Leave and then come back alive with it.
That scarf that I made fun of you for giving to me because I don't want frivolous things like that.
But she finally used it to wrap up her damn finger.
Hand. Yeah, she wrapped up her hand with it. And she set her body on fire before she left to kind of like honor her a little bit. Oh, that's the impression I got.
Yeah.
Before she went back down to the greenhouse.
Well, you're skipping one major thing.
Oh, I am.
So she like is mourning her friend and she looks behind her and there is a vampire that's so just blood drunk. He is like fell asleep, not paying attention. And she's like, that's the MFer who killed my friend.
Yeah.
And she went up to him and she stabbed him right in the sternum. And she always is talking when she kills vampires because this is the second kill.
Yeah.
She was like, I like looking at their eyes. I'm glad he woke up so that way I could look at his eyes as he realized he was going to die.
Well, and we heard at one of these points too, like Vincent taught her that. Like look them in the eye as you do it. And so as it's crunching like deeper into the breastbone, his eyes open last minute and she's like, good.
Yeah.
I love it.
So she stabbed one person, pushed another person.
Yeah.
And
we know through all this too, again, the Moon Palace is changing. Yeah. I was very much seeing like Hogwarts because she's like still going up, but then going down. So it does like manipulate where you need to be, which is very like Hunger Games-esque. Like, let's get the good camera angle of you finding your human friend and all of that good stuff. But there are no cameras.
The goddess gets what the goddess wants.
The goddess gets what the goddess wants. That's true.
So then she goes downstairs and goes back to bed.
In the greenhouse.
A nice funeral. A nice kill. Bedtime.
Right. That night, shadows just kind of come to the greenhouse, lure her as well as other contestants to the center room. So they know this is like the beginning of the Kejari. She counts about 50 people. This is when she goes around the room. She's like, most are the House of Night. There's at least 10 from the House of Blood. There's like 15 from the Shadow. And you start to kind of see a couple of the differences between those different like clans of vampires. The Minister comes up, which I find interesting. I would love to see how like this person would be cast in a movie.
He really seems gross like old man.
He has overseen 21 Kejaris. That's 2,100 years old, at least. Yeah. I would think it took him a couple hundred years to be minister and be able to do this job. So this old man, and she says like he didn't have eyes anymore.
No,
they were wondering if he's just like a flesh sack, like I thought of the Men in Black like skin suit dude. She described him as a lecherous man, and that anytime she had been around him, because they're dead, he'd be king. He was always far too interested in her.
Yeah.
creepy.
He's doing like
Me too. Hashtag Me Too movement.
Frankly, everything is pedo vibes for him because he's 2,100 years old.
I mean, when is there not pedo vibes with a vampire story in general? They're all kind of
fair.
Ew.
Yeah, Elena was 16.
Yeah.
And
I mean, fairies be doing the same stuff though. It's a little. We're just gonna move past that.
And never mind.
Moving
I didn't
on.
bring it up. Don't think about it.
Vincent was also there, right? The Nightborn King, and we took note that his wings are out, which they typically aren't, and his air mark was showing, which is down his throat. So exposing your throat in general is like it was a sign of strength. Like, fuck around, find out. Come get it, guys. Yeah. I'm the most powerful. Nothing's getting by me.
And we find out that every time a new heir is found, you get a mark, and the mark is different for everybody.
Right.
And Vincent's, it is on his neck, but it's one of those things that once he became the ruler, that's where it showed up. So the heir is HEIR.
Yeah, we're not spelling. What do we do? That's not this kind of podcast.
Okay, sorry.
But when Vincent took over, that was part of taking over. He killed out the entire possible line for the Rashawn so that there wouldn't be anybody powerful enough, because power came with this mark, right? Different wings came with this mark. She noted how his wings had a red outline. So the power of the Nightborn King, the power of the Hydra heir, he wanted to kill out any possible power of that on the Rashawn side. That's pretty brutal.
Vampires are vicious.
That's let's just get rid of them all. It's very Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Down with your whole line. Anybody you knew, out. We get the story of the trials, like through the minister, right? That they follow the story of Nyaxia and her escape of how do you say that? Do you know? White Pathonian. The 5 trials follow the story and pay tribute to Nyaxia's escape of White Pantheon and her rise to power. Pantheon.
White Pantheon.
Okay. Her escape of White Pantheon and her rise to power. So there's the full moon trial, the waning trial, the half moon trial, the crescent trial, and the new moon trial over the next 4 months. All right. They have to, there's really not many rules. We go through the rules here. Be back in the doors by dawn. And Nyaxia will provide through the Moon Palace as she sees fit. Whatever that means.
Okay.
That's it. Someone asks about, can we kill other people or not? And the answer is the goddess appreciates the gift of,
spilling bloodshed within the trials. Within the trials.
But...
so it's like don't start none.
Won't be none. But you don't know if she really would like strike you down if you killed somebody here at the Moon Palace or not. It was very ominous.
Yeah. And Aurea actually talks a lot, which I love. She's done a lot of research and knows a lot about the histories of what the trials ended up being.
Matters.
And there were she's like, it's weird that they're so ominous about this because usually it's like, don't kill or kill.
We would rather you, bloodbath. Yeah.
So she's like, this is very hidden, but it did have a vibe of, as long as you're not the aggressor, you're okay.
Yeah, yeah. Or if there's like a good reason.
Yeah. Some people deserve to die.
I'll let you know what I think is a good idea and what's not.
Go ahead and guess. Good luck.
So there's a feast, right? The Moon Palace will provide. There's crafts of blood everywhere, and there's food, even though I think there's only one human. So
yep. And she's the first human in history to ever volunteer, which is shocking.
You would think more humans would be like, let me get this gift. So at the feast, a man is very obviously looking for someone. And then he starts, he goes out, comes back in, and he's like, my brother! They killed my fucking brother! And Aurea's like,
ooh, that's me.
I have a feeling. There's other vampires that try and calm him down. Ibrahim was one of them that she noticed. And then a final voice comes and it's the same as the one that's like, they're all dead, little one. And if you go after him,
Yes.
you're dead too. And he was like, yeah, he was an asshole. Your brother was an
Yeah.
asshole, is basically what he was saying. She noticed that this guy was different
Hmm.
than other vampires. He had this, what'd she call it? Untamed, threatening ease. Not
Yeah.
elegant vampire beauty, because vampires are typically not as
Proper.
animated,
Well, they've been
stoic.
taught like every flinch gives so much away. So
Yeah.
they've honed for hundreds of years the art of stillness and
I
having a
like how
mask.
you say it in like a positive way. Like this is
It's
a
who I
craft.
am.
This is a craft that they, it's very job application-y, like added in there. But like the way she describes it is basically they're so bored with shit by this
Yeah,
point
that's true.
because they've lived for so long that there just are not reactions and they just have this very like elegant stillness
Yeah.
about them. And he was a little more like wild.
Yeah.
You just got this kind of like wild and untamed vibe right
A
away.
bad boy vibe, some would say.
A bad boy vibe. It's like, foreshadowing. This
Okay.
is going to be somebody we need to know.
He actually also looks like he's got a wound on his leg right where she stabbed somebody in the leg.
Like,
So,
we're thinking it's
Eee.
possibly a connection. But this guy's like Klein. We find out his name's Klein. You killed my brother, Rain. You killed him. And he's like, I didn't. Actually, I wish
Mm-mm.
I would have. He was a repulsive asshole,
Yeah, he
though.
sucked really
And
bad.
there's another girl, like this little like pixie girl, next to Oriah, but like behind him, who's like, yeah, he was, da da da. So, and they're both cocky. They are both not afraid.
Mm.
I was even afraid, and I'm not even in the Moon Palace, right? And Oriah was definitely afraid, trying to pretend like she wasn't afraid. Not audibly, but thinking about how slow your heart rate down, da 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 da
Yeah.
da.
I was during this time thinking, so something I do that I think is hilarious, but is when I'm doing something that I'm like should be sneaking, but I
Uh-huh.
don't really care. It's my house. I'll like just go, and like that's me sneaking. And all the kids are like, "Mom, what are you doing?" But that's what I kind of felt like during
For
this scene where I feel like she was like eating and going,
I'm not a human. Slow your heart rate
I
down.
didn't do anything, but I'm totally doing something right now.
So Klein like goes for Rain with his sword, and Rain just like casually releases Astrus, the same stuff Vincent said he had. It blackens out with a whiteout, essentially, right? This flash of light, and then Klein's body just like falls to the ground, and he's dead. And what I thought was interesting is Rain and this little pixie girl
Mhm.
that we later find out is Misha are both kind of just like waiting. Looks like we can kill people, guys.
Okay, we're
Hey,
good. We're good.
jury's out. I think we're fine. I think we're okay. That night, Oriah meets Vincent, and they had like a prearranged place right before dawn. And he is very much more a father in this situation than a king. He is very concerned for her safety. He asks about the scarf. And she's like, it's just something I found. So she lies to him. She does talk about how lies get easier and easier with him.
Yeah.
So she
Which
respects him, but she will lie to him.
this is the only secret that she, like her relationship with Ileana is the only secret she's kept from Vincent.
Well, and killing the vampires.
Oh, yeah, fair.
She actually got a lot of secrets.
Fair.
But
fair.
she does very much respect him. Like, and
Yes.
she feels bad about them.
Yeah.
He gives her this medicine that fixes the cut. He does tell her, I don't know when I'm going to get anymore. So make sure you, like, keep that.
Use sparingly.
Yeah. And it's hard to get ones, I guess, that work on humans. This is extremely rare. He gives her 2 weapons, too. And she is very flattered by it. These weapons are custom made. They're daggers that have like poison that you can put in the hilts of the dagger that will eject poison, but they're like tiny and they're warrior.
Mhm.
Like you have to earn these types of weapons.
And she didn't earn it.
Well, she doesn't think she did, but obviously she did. But she talks about how these are the ways that like he shows he loves her. He never says the words, but these are the ways he shows that.
Okay,
That was
question.
Yes.
Do you feel like this is cheating?
No. Not at all.
She's getting special weapons from the king during this competition.
That she is a human and everyone else has night vision, supersonic hearing, fangs, long daggering nails, superhuman strength and speed.
Okay.
and are attracted, can literally smell her
Yeah.
when
fair.
her heart rate raises. I think the least she
Well, I
gets
guess
is poisonous
everybody can
daggers.
leave and get whatever they want, right?
Right. Yeah. They just have to be back at dawn. There was only one rule.
Be back at dawn.
It's like that's it.
Yeah.
Not even don't be a dick. Like no, it's fine.
Yeah, you can go home and sleep in your own beds.
You could. You just have to. Well, you don't sleep. That's their daytime. Duh,
You can
Marissa.
go
You don't
party
even
with
know
your
how to
fr-
vampire.
You can go party with all your friends.
You could party with your friends. They could. You could. When Oriah is going back, I think it's funny how she literally runs into rain. She's like, I run into a wall. Oh wait, no, man wall.
A very large
He
man.
is 6'8".
I don't know what that feels like.
Oh yeah, your husband's 6'8". Anyways, Rain's 6'8". Reese is 6'2", if that makes you feel better. Cassian is only 6'5".
Yeah, Cassian's short.
Rain be a mountain of a man. A mountain of a man.
I do like mountains.
She gets a closer look at him though, and she does notice like vampires don't have scars and things like that either. He does have like this upside down V scar on his face, and he's like a little just disheveled, right? His hair is kind of out of place. He has very dark red, almost black hair, which I found very hard to picture. Black, it's black. In my visions, it's black,
it's
and
just
when the
black.
sun shines on it, which it can't because that would kill him.
Well, I feel like
It
our
has like a
hair-
red tint.
Yeah, your hair like has more of a like dark purple, like. You
Actually,
go
in
more...
the sun, I have a red tint.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
so it's like your hair.
Okay, so it's like our hair.
You're a redhead. You just claimed it. I heard it. I heard it.
Our grandma was a redhead.
So funny story. Not funny story. Sad story, but we'll make it funny. Our grandma, who was Japanese, back then it was not appreciated to be Japanese in the Air Force community.
Well, I mean, I think in America in general.
Yes.
She came here right after internment camps.
Yes.
So Japanese American wasn't.
Yes. So she said, I can totally pass. She got a perm. She dyed it red. And she said, I can pass for Italian. And she had a very broken English with a Japanese accent.
Yeah, people think of Italy too. Oh, Fumiko. June. Anyways, she runs into Rain, right? Runs into him, and their banter back and forth is all bitchy and pissy, and I love every second of it because she's like mad and he's like very aloof and like very like okay, and she's like, what do you want? And he's like, an apology, and she's like, for what? And he's like, stabbing me,
The
and she's
leg?
like, I'm sorry I didn't aim higher.
Yeah.
Is that good enough for you?
And then he said, a little higher or a lot higher.
That was a little later when he was like leaving too, and then she responded. I think she looked down, didn't she? And she's like, a little, and he laughed as they walked away. But he did ask her where she was, and he's like, I know who you are. I know you're Vincent's pet human. And she's like, it's not the first time people have talked about me that way. And he's like, I was trying to save you. And she's like, I don't need to be saved, bitch. But yeah, their banter back and forth was funny, to say the least.
The shadows lead them.
Again.
Yeah. And this is finally the full moon trial. And so they all get led out into this space, and they find out like it's an arena, and they see everybody in the stands shouting and stuff.
Well, and real quick, we know from the history, all right? It kind of always gives us a little bit of the history, like on their way.
Which I love.
I know you
I
love this.
love a good history talk.
We know that this is supposed to honor her departure from her home. So White Pantheon, I forget how you say that. And it's always, she was attacked by beasts the whole time.
Yeah.
So we know there are going to be beasts a part of this in one way, shape, or form.
Yes. And boy, were there some beasts. So the Moon Palace disappears, and there's like this amphitheater. And, you know, she heard Vincent's voice in her head telling her to move. And so she quickly goes, and there are these humongous beasts. and they're in this like dome, like different domes, and she's got like 4 other vampires with her in this dome. And these beasts, I will let you describe them. If you can breathe. If you can breathe.
Sorry. First, we do know that she's with Hija. Rain happens to be with her. That Shadowborn person that Vincent pointed out, and another Bloodborne vampire. And they see massive demons. And it took her a minute to get to demon, actually. And they were, I'm going to read this word for word. Moving on all fours, hairless and dark gray, with blackened veins that pulsed beneath their skin. Serrated black claws capped 2 long fingers on hands made for grabbing and killing. Their faces, flat with sharp cheekbones, a slit as noses, and white mucus-coated eyes, mostly mouth, which extended from pointed ear to pointed ear, dripping with blackened saliva over layers of jagged teeth. They were chillingly animalistic and sickeningly humanoid.
That's
My God.
Creepy description. I am going to put this in ChatGPT.
I want you to do it right now and see
what comes up, because I can't. I feel like I'm picturing.
I feel like it was one of the most vividly described like monsters. Like I very much see this creature in my head.
Well, let's see if AI agrees or doesn't with you.
I'm gonna rate it on a scale of 1 to 10 when this comes out.
But these things are nasty. And so
that's like a cool word.
Thank you.
Nasty. Gnarly and nasty, guys.
See?
I love it.
These guys are nasty. And so they're like fighting all over the place, and she's just dodging. There is another vampire that's like up in the sky, and he's doing arrows. And it just feels like these arrows are just pinging off. Like it's not even penetrating these demons. She does what?
It's just gross. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
I
I'm
thought
just
you were
picturing
like, it was wrong.
No.
Oh gosh, it's not looking good so far as it's coming slowly down.
Oh, is that how it loads?
Creepy.
It loads down?
Yeah, it loads down.
Don't look.
Oh god, it's really creepy.
Okay.
Okay.
You're going to have nightmares?
No.
Oh.
I'm tough. And I got a big, strong, rain sass man in bed.
Oh,
with me.
gross.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's not like that. They're just fighting with each other.
That's my brother.
In law. Okay. So, I lost my train of thought when I talked about a hunky man in my bed. No, I'm just
God.
kidding. I'm just kidding. She actually gets at one point in the fight where she is able to stab the jaw of the demon with her poison, and she's like, oh my gosh, this poison's crazy, and like the jaw literally like melts off of the demon's body. And she's like, yes, I got one. And she's like looking around, nobody else is making any like good progress. She turns around, even with a melted jaw, this thing's still coming at her.
It was like what? Like that's supposed to hurt?
Yeah.
And it has no jaw.
No, and so she's like, shit, we're all gonna die. This sucks. And she like looks at the other domes around. And she's like, everybody looks like they're not doing well.
Right.
And so what I love about her, she uses her brain. And she's like, okay, these are like humanoids. These are like demon creatures. They might be like vampire. They look like they're almost like bloodlusty.
Well, what really flips it is she sees the one bloodborne vampire fighting, and she sees his face, and he's like, right before he's fighting the demon. I think he ends up dying. I don't know if he dies or not. And then she also remembers that when she was fighting the demon before, it was like she felt it in like tingling in her skin and on her blood.
Which means they were doing blood magic.
Right.
Which means that they have a vampire heart, which means the only way to kill them is through the effing sternum.
Well, she realizes they must be fully bloodborne vampires. So this is when we kind of learn about the bloodborne curse, right? Like what the difference of the bloodborne vampires are. Apparently, just a little mini story, they used to be Nyaxia's favorite version of her children, right? And they asked for something or did something and betrayed her. And this is a curse she has given them, that they all slowly go mad
Do you want to see?
eventually. So they slowly go mad, and you can tell by like marks on their skin. So the marks slowly move up their body. So once you start to hear about them on their arms or their neck, they're like far into madness. These demons were former bloodborne vampires that have now gone mad. So that look of horror on the face was because he realized it. Like this
Yeah.
is his future, basically.
That's who he is.
For a curse. And
Yes.
from the blood magic and everything. Very cool.
Yes. Do you want to see
Okay,
it?
yeah, I want to see.
It's very dark, but you know, it's vampires.
Holy shit. Okay.
This might be too scary to post.
I saw the animated version of that in my mind.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I give feedback.
So what? Oh, wow.
Can you do an
a more Gollum
animated
version? Like Gollum is pretty
version
gross.
that isn't as scary for us humans? I literally wrote that word
I
for it.
essentially saw a larger Gollum with gray skin in my mind. But way more mouth than eyes. Like Gollum's
I
eyes
just pictured the whole body like shiny because it was like goopy wet. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. With like milky eyes and just like massive mouth. And yeah.
Like kind of like the picture, but that's the scary version of it.
That's really good CGI.
Yes, that's very scary.
That would be a terrifying movie if that's what they actually looked like.
Yes.
I don't know if we can post that.
Okay.
Rated MA.
We'll see if the cartoon one is
That
less
one was
scary.
nuts, man. That was good. Okay. I
Now
rate
I'm
that
gonna
a
have
15
nightmares.
on the 10-point scale.
Yes, so scary.
I have so much more respect for Orion now.
Yeah. So she's like, okay, the only thing I can do is get this dude's heart.
Yeah.
So she starts fighting in to get close enough to grab the heart. She's like right there, and ow, all of a sudden there's a pain in her leg.
Yeah.
The freaking guy up in the sky got her with the arrow
Yeah.
instead of the demon. She looks at him like, you idiot. And then has to keep going and through the pain and stabs him in the heart. Mm-hmm. And he cripples and dies.
And dies.
And then they figured it out. And once they figured it out,
What did they figure out?
they figured out that there is a lead demon.
Right. They were moving like a clan. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And so she figured out which one to kill. She killed it correctly. She used her big brain,
And they all died.
and they all died.
They all died at the same time because they got the leader.
And then Rain knocks on the dome to his little pixie friend and says, hey, and like points to show which one was the leader.
Yeah.
Because evidently they had like a mark on the forehead to identify which one it was. He's like, get that guy. And she's like, sweet. And he's like, okay, ready to go? That worked
And then
well.
what did she notice with Misha in the other dome?
Oh, Misha was freaking using magic fire.
Fire. And so
Which-
we found out, like, not only was that the power of a different god,
Atraxis.
it was Atraxis. It's Nyaxia's mortal enemy, too.
Yes.
So usually vampires aren't wielding other magic, and especially not of her enemy.
No.
So that was not something that's very common at all. I did find it interesting in that story. She motioned to Rain to tell him, like, we have to go for the leader. But the way she did it is he hit one of them and she saw the other one flinch.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how she kind of put it together. And she's like, do that again. That one, you fucking idiot. Like, she's like yelling at him. And then he's like, oh, good idea. You had a good idea. Like, the way they talk to each other is just really hilarious.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to point out that I thought was really funny is when Rain was fighting, his wings were out. So she saw his wings for the first time. And he was...
Those beautiful, luscious feather wings.
They were Rashawn, but they were black with the red outline. She's like, Rashawn Nightborn. Of course he fucking is.
Of course.
Of course
She's
he
like,
is.
his feathers were so black. They're almost purple, but there's a shimmer of red. I'm like...
They sounded beautiful.
These are still scary, but not as scary.
It's the animated version.
The animated version of that scary monster.
It's basically like the hyenas from...
It's the
Lion
stuff
King.
coming out of their mouth that's scary. Okay.
Yeah.
This might not be worth posting. Weird.
I thought it was going to be really cool, and now I'm kind of traumatized.
Yeah, thanks. I said I wasn't scared. Now I'm going to have to sleep with the lights on.
I thought you had a big, strong man. Um, so Oriya, they're back at the Moon Palace, right? They were able.
She survived.
Oh, what also is cool, right? They get whisked away to these amphitheaters, and they're just there. And then when you finish the mission, that you don't know what the objective is before you start. Always interesting. A door just opens, and you just see the Moon Palace through there, and you're like, "Bye, peeps. See ya.
Yep.
See ya next time."
And she's not doing good. She's got an arrow through her leg.
She has an arrow through her leg. Yeah. So they are back at the palace. She's in her greenhouse. She has that potion from Vincent, but she only has enough to fix one wound. And in that, she got a demon got her in the side, really good, and then she had the arrow through her leg. So she debates back and forth. She goes ahead and she's like, "Let me pick the side because I think that's bleeding the worst, and I've just gotta hope Vincent fucking found more medicine or something and I'll be okay." She hears a voice. "Beautiful place you've claimed here for yourself."
He's like, oh, interesting. All the things that are living in the palace in one place.
He's really funny.
He is.
I think he might be my favorite male character. We can talk about this at the end a little bit.
He reminds me a lot of my husband, so this is getting weird.
Oh, that's awkward, actually. But he's like playfully insulting, if that makes sense. Playfully strong.
Fake, I hate you. What do
Which
I always
is very
talk
much your
about
husband,
with my
actually.
husband? He always does this fake, I hate you, which I know he's just like jabbing to like flirt.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like, can you fake I love you? Like,
So she just keeps telling him to get out. Like, she is not buying this.
Yeah.
And she's not being nice at all. She's being very clear. No
Yes.
means no. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, "I brought you a gift." And she's like, "I don't want your gift. Get the fuck out." And he's like, "I think you want it. You're going to want this gift. I'm pretty sure you're going to want it." She notices that everything he does is performative. The way he fought was performative. He pretends like he just has brute strength, but he was really doing all kinds of other things that are complex, and she knows this is also performative. And I just want to know that she keeps having like these flashbacks to something very traumatic that is not right now. We don't know what it is yet, but we
it's called
hear
PTSD.
things. Right. We know something big happened with her that is affecting her response system, especially when it comes to rain. He notices it, which is what I find super interesting right away. And he's like, "Where'd you go there for a minute?" And she's like, "Shit, he even can notice that. I gotta rein this shit in, get it back together." He mentions her thigh. Looks pretty bad there. Don't you think that's kind of poetic? As he's like tapping his own thigh, like, "Oh,
Karma.
oh, look at that, look at that." I
Friendly
think that's
fire from somebody to the thigh. I've been there.
I don't feel like it was friendly. Either way, he kind of baits her into, "Hey, looks like you need this." And he's got more potion to heal her thigh. So he like, "You want to like team up?" And she's like, "Why would you want to team up with me?" And he's like, "Well, we need to team up by the Half Moon Trial." The Half Moon Trial later on. It's like the fourth trial or something like that.
The third.
It's
I've
the
got
third.
it listed on my beautiful board.
Thank you, Marisa. And you have to pair up. You have to team up with people. I shouldn't say pair up. You have to team up with people, and then at least half the contestants are eliminated, right? So half have to be eliminated, and then most of the time there's the biggest deaths right after that because you turn on the person you teamed up with. Crazy. That's a ways away though. They have a whole other trial in between this.
So like 6 weeks.
Yeah. So she's like, I'm not fucking buying it, dude. Keep going, keep going. So she is now baiting him, and he finally admits that all the other decent fighters would actually work with, that I would actually work with, already have allies. I'm a little curious about you. You know, you're Vincent's like little human princess. And she's like, and he's like, "And you'd be easy to kill after the half moon's over because, like, let's face it, you're a human." So yeah. Which she was like, wasn't really very nice to hear. It was fucking rude, but it was honest. It was the first honest thing he said. Yeah. She did find it tempting. She loved being underestimated. We knew that from before when she was killing that other vampire, that she's like, loves being underestimated. And she's like, I could learn his style then too to be able to kill him. But she's like, let me think about it. No. Absolutely not. Get the fuck out of here. And he's like, all right, bet. You should probably stop bleeding because you can smell you everywhere
Yep.
and you smell delicious.
I believe I pointed this out on the first night.
You did. You did. He's like, so when you get more desperate,
Yeah.
we're at the top of the Eastern Tower if you
And
change
I
your
was
mind.
really hoping when he turned around to walk away, he was going to accidentally forget the vial of healing potion.
He's got a briber.
Yeah. No, he grabbed that and left.
She was eyeballing it too.
Oh,
like
I
maybe
would
I
be.
could snag it. So she desperately is like, okay, I got to get out and meet Vincent and get potion. She goes to their spot and he doesn't come.
Nope. No show.
So she gets herself back to the palace. She gathers up some food from the feast. All the blood's gone. And she is 2 steps from the greenhouse door and she's attacked. They're fighting. She is clawing her way. They tumble into the greenhouse. At this point, the sun is up. It is past dawn and it is blinging into the glass. She even gets him like where she has his back up against, like his exposed wings, back up against, sun is on it, does not even phase.
So I think during this whole thing, she keeps talking about bloodlust. And this is when vampires go so crazy that they're not able to control themselves at the smell of blood.
Right. And he's going nuts. She's like, I could block his teeth or his sharpened nails or his weapons, but I can't block all 3.
Yeah.
So she is like, I'm going to die. I think this is the second time she's been like, okay, I'm going to die. Here we go. She finally does get a dagger in his chest, but it's not hard enough because she's so weakened by how much he's already gotten her. And then she tries again and it's still not enough, but she hears finally that like crack of his breastbone. She kind of at this point looks down. There is blood everywhere. It's her abdomen. It's been cut in the process. Right away when she was attacked, it talked about ripping open her other wounds, like the one on her side. So she's been bleeding this whole time. She drags herself up the staircase again, spreading more blood crumbs everywhere where she goes.
Blood crumbs everywhere.
And she's like, the image, she's like slipping in her own blood as she gets to the top and falls right in front of Rain's door. She hears Vincent's voice in her head. You need to get the hell out of there now.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do? What have you done? And then she just hears Rain say, well, that didn't take long. And she like gargles, fucking prick. And she's like, blood's coming out. And that's what she hears Vincent's voice. What did you do? What did you do? I was wondering at this point, we've heard Vincent's voice a lot. Do you think he's actually talking to her? Or do you think it's just she hears his voice and everything she does?
I think she hears his voice and everything she does. I don't think that's actually him communicating with her.
It is weird though. Like there are certain moments, I do too. I think you're right. But there are moments when I'm like, is he really there? Like, is he?
Yeah.
Is that him? All right. So Oriah wakes up and Misha is like right in her face and super excited. I just hear like, oh, hi. No, but she actually wakes up and she hears Rain and Misha talking. And then Misha notices Oriah's awake and she's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then she comes over and she's like, oh, that's right. Slow down. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. And it's
cautious.
Like, what? Cautious. That's what she says. He told me. And she's kind of like, he told you? What?
You're a little skittish.
Yes. She describes Misha as her eyes being too large for her face, almost comically out of proportion with her small nose and forever upturned mouth. So I just think of like a little sprite almost, right? Oriah mentions she reminds me more of a human than a vampire by the way she acts. And she says thank gods instead of thank goddess like everybody else. So she's definitely different than anybody she's ever met before. She also reminds her of Ileana a little bit because she reminds her more human. Rain then interjects. He's like, hey, we got a gift for you. And Misha, I think, is the one who holds up this like head of her attacker and is like, look what we got.
We killed him. We got him.
We got him. And she's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? And Rain's like, I don't know. Gloat. Like, just, you got his head.
You're welcome. You forgot that.
She's like, that's ridiculous. He's like, you're demanding a shit, okay? This is the second time I have saved your fucking life, and I have now presented you with the head of your enemy. And you don't even care. You don't even care. He's really funny.
But it's also one of those things where he assumed a certain present would be wanted.
True. But
he doesn't also know her well enough to know that a severed head is not hot.
It should be. You're in the Kejari, okay? Come on. What is this guy supposed to do?
My language isn't gifts. My language is more quality time.
Mine is murder. So,
okay.
Me and you are good. He does make the comment, though, it doesn't matter. That dude's days were numbered either way.
Yeah.
So they're in this apartment, and she notes very much that it's outdated, but it's like massive. There's like a living room. There's like 4 bedrooms. Everybody's got their own bathroom. Misha's like, we gave you the one with all the windows, because obviously you're human and you're okay with that. The sheer volume of space that they had, I thought was interesting because I just pictured the Moon Palace as like this little tower.
Yeah.
And that was it. And I'm like, oh no, this place is like a estate.
It's a castle that's used once every 100 years.
It's an estate that's used once every 100 years,
and the rich get richer.
She did also say her view like mirrored her view from Vincent's palace, except for in this view she sees the human slums instead of like these beautiful rolling dunes, which she was like, that stark contrast just kind of, it sits a little weird in my tum-tum.
Yeah.
It makes me a little uncomfortable.
Doesn't feel great right here.
Yeah. She does ask Misha about the fire that she saw. And Misha's just kind of like, it is possible to, use magic. It's not a big deal. Just as Oriah starts to like kind of prod Rain about the asterisk gift, there's like these boom, 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 boom on the door. And it's Angelica, who they obviously feel like is like the bloodborne vampire leader. I remember her explaining her as like huge.
Yeah.
And she could already kind of see some of the blood curse marks on her neck, so she might be kind of far, and everyone's always huddled around her. So I found it interesting that it's like, Rain, Rain, she's like calling for Rain, get out here now. And Rain's like, how come anytime someone's mad, they're always looking for me?
I didn't do anything.
Well, Misha's like, what did she say? Because I'm nice and pretty. And Rain like walks over to the door. He's like, I'm nice and pretty.
Yeah, you are.
I'm nice and pretty. Shut up. But he opens the door and she's instantly like pissed, right? And Rain and her are like fighting and all that. She's like, it was the human, wasn't it? It was that one. I want her. And he's like, he was out of his mind. He was in the daylight, Angelica. He was in the daylight. Like, and you can just see it registering for her. And she's just looking and it's like, no, the curse.
Yeah.
He went crazy because of the curse and he was already gone at this point. And she just thinks and she's like, I'd rather kill her in the trials than here, and leaves. Oh, isn't that lovely? You'd rather kill me in the trials. Fine. I did find it cute that Misha, they were talking about it and about the curse. And so that's your future. And Misha's like, I feel sorry for her. Of course you do, Misha. Of course you do.
Misha reminds me of a very old me.
A very old you.
Because she's a vampire, get it? But
I do. I do now.
Okay.
I'm like, she seems younger than you. She seems like childless vibes, Because she's a vampire, Nicole. Yeah, okay. You just have more responsibilities,
Her aura is younger. Her age is older.
There you go.
Just what every woman wants to hear. Okay. So, Oriah finally is well enough to...
Oh, I keep saying Oriah.
Yeah. It's awkward.
Can you correct me?
Well, no, because...
It's behind me. I love how you keep pointing behind me. It's a great map for you.
Right there.
Now I need a projector, and I want it right there.
Maybe we should move our chairs this way.
I think it's time for a layout change.
I do love a good layout change. I've been fiending for one.
I mean, you could put this back here, and we could put the 2 chairs. Oh.
Okay. enough interior design.
Focus.
I gave you a pre-work. You just have to use it, even though it's fairly inconvenient for
I
you.
have a bad back. And all that
Because
twisting.
you're so, no, I'm just kidding. I've got a worse back.
But a higher pain tolerance.
Okay. So Aurea finally meets up with Vincent and she updates him on what's happened. So let's go through it. She has an ally with another vampire who is in the rival clan of her adoptive father, the king.
Daddy's not happy about that decision.
Daddy's irritated. And finally she just yells like, what should I have done? Just died? Like, that was my only option.
'Cause she says, I came here, but you didn't, basically. Like, kind of blamed it on him. Like,
Yeah.
I had no fucking options. What did you want me to do? I came here and you weren't here.
Yeah. You effed up. I will say she notes during this whole interaction that he is not like himself. He feels more guarded. She's like, I can tell something's up. Something's going on.
He's very distracted. He's pacing. She's noticing his, like, stress signs.
Yeah.
Like, so she knows something's going on beyond the game. And she's noticed this for a while, too.
Yeah.
Every interaction with him, that he's a little distracted. There's something else going on, and he keeps dismissing her.
Well, and he keeps just being like, you need to focus on what you're doing, which fair. So they finally get to a place. Vincent, the king, is irritated with her and basically says, use him and then kill him, but don't let him use you.
Right. Good advice from a dad in all
Yeah,
honesty.
I mean, it's basically been his life advice for her is like, don't ever trust anyone.
And I'll be honest with you, like, we've had our fair share of mythical, magical men and talking down to girls in certain situations. I didn't think anything he was saying to her was outside
No.
of a normal father.
Vincent's not mansplaining,
No.
but he is the king, so
He
he
is the
tells
king.
her what's up.
And the optics aren't great on this situation you've gotten yourself into at this point.
No.
And the way
Well,
he switched it back.
I think he shouldn't really worry about optics, more like her life, but
Well, that's my point. He is worried about her life, I feel like, you know? Yeah. He got softer again, too. And I love how she was like, I just saw a concerned, tired father.
and she's like, of course you're trying. I'm sorry.
She
I
felt
love
bad
you."
instantly.
Yeah.
Too.
So she gets back and Rain is waiting in the sun, which is not normal for vampires because it hurts when the sun is coming up or going down and you feel it on your skin. And she notices like, he should probably close the windows soon. And he's just like, just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So there is some sort of like aura of longing for the sun.
He actually... sorry. He also, like, lingered when he was in the greenhouse, tempting her and, like, looked... And she noticed that, too.
Yeah.
He has these smoldering...
The smoldering moments are
looking into the
great.
distance. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they're like, okay, we've got just a couple weeks to figure out how to keep you alive long enough to be my ally. So let's fight. And so they start training, and he's getting super frustrated because she is definitely very guarded.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to show anything. She doesn't trust him. And it's just little things like if he takes a step forward, she immediately takes a step back.
Right.
And so she's always on the defensive with him. And he's like, we can't work together if you can't just trust me enough to train.
Right.
And she's basically in her head
And
like,
they did already fight well together.
Yes.
So he's even more frustrated because he's like, I know
we can
we're
do
a good
this.
team.
Yeah. But I totally understand because in her head, she's like, dude, I can't give you all my secrets right before so you can know how to kill me.
Right. Right. And she does note that him and Misha, she sees why they're a good pair. Like, she initially was like, what, are they, like, together or fucking around or something? And she's like, no, it's definitely, like, brother-sister vibe. But Misha knows how to take a back seat. And, like, he's the main character. And Oria's like, that's not how I work. I work alone.
I'm main character.
In my movie.
You can be a supporting character.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And
But she
Misha
boring.
is similar to me, where it's like, can I be a supporting of her supporting, please?
She's good at complimenting. She compliments him like very well. She's
Yes.
his little pixie, his little Tinkerbell.
Yes. So Rain is just getting more and more angry, and they're just yelling at each other. Rain actually brings her dad into it, and she's like, don't talk about my dad like that.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
insults going on there. I did find it funny that Rain's like, I'm still not totally convinced you're not going to stab me in the back as soon as I turn around. And she's like, maybe I will. Who knows? And they just both poke and prod back and forth at each other. He does go in about her father, though.
And in her head, she's like, Rashawn trash.
Yeah. No, I think she says it out loud.
Oh.
I think she calls him that.
Well, and when she does, zoo.
Yeah.
And she like has a burst of magic.
That was a super shitty sound effect.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't know if I could.
Come on. You're laid.
It's more like a roar.
Okay,
of
let's hear you roar.
Nah!
Oh gosh. Okay.
But what did you do? Zap.
We agreed that we're doing the cartoon version because the real version was too scary, Nicole.
Fair. Totally fair.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I take back my criticism.
But Rain,
Zap, guys. Bang.
I picture more Power Rangery, where it's like, and he gets
Whoosh.
zoomed, zoom. He gets zoomed through the window.
Yes.
And like immediately Misha and Aurea are like run to the window like, oh crap. But then immediately
He's got wings.
He's got
Okay.
wings. He's fine. He comes back through the window and he's like, you're talking about not trusting me and you're keeping that a secret?
What the fuck was that?
And Aurea, like in her head's like, try to act like you know that you can do that. Try to act like you know.
I just see her kind of like
Yeah.
a 4-year-old with their
of
hand
course,
on their hip.
Of
Like,
course
what?
I kept that a secret.
Yeah.
It was such a good secret. It was
Why-
for me too.
Why would I tell you, bitch?
About the sparks from my fingers.
Well, and this is when Rain is like, you don't know how to give a fuck about anybody other than yourself. You're just like the rest of them. And she's like, you're Rashawn trash. Don't talk about my father that way. And Misha's like, guys, go to your separate corners. Ding, 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 ding.
While I clean up the mess.
Yeah. So that's when Rain takes off out the window.
Because he's frustrated and pissed.
And Oria's like, I'm going to talk to my daddy. She doesn't tell him, but she goes off to try and meet Vincent.
Yes. But she was so mad she didn't even go there because she was so mad. She's like, I just need a stress reliever.
Oh, yeah.
And what's historically her stress reliever?
Killing some fucking vampires.
Yeah.
That are trying to kill humans.
So she's going to go kill some vampires.
Yep.
On her way, though, she runs into this guy and he's smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
And she doesn't
Makes her
smoke.
think of Ileana.
So she's like, I want to reminisce. And she goes up to this random vampire that her dad
It's not
told
that
her
safe.
to not talk to strangers, especially vampire strangers, but whatever. And she says, can I bum a cigarette?
Can I have one of those, man?
Yeah. And he hands it to her and he's like, you know what? A lot of people lost a lot of money on you today.
Yeah.
The odds were not in your favor. Ding, ding, ding. Hunger Games.
Yes.
Call back to Hunger Games. Did you get that?
Yeah, I
Did
got
you
that.
catch it?
I got
Okay,
that.
Just want to make sure. Okay. She's like, oh, sorry you lost all your money. And he's like, I don't bet if I don't know I'm going to win.
I don't make shitty bets, princess.
And I won. And here, you can have this whole box of cigarettes because I'm so rich from all the money you made me.
No, he's like, keep it. You paid for it.
And she did.
She did.
And she coughed her way through that cigarette so hard
Yes.
in remembrance of Ileana.
Ileana. She does have another flashback during this
Oh, yeah.
of that like PTSD event because she remembers when she started killing the vampires. It felt so good that she hadn't seen the face that haunted her in like a day or something like that. She hadn't thought about any of that. So we are getting, I just want to bring in those little flashbacks because I think it explains her a lot.
Yeah. she gets back and Misha is alone and she's sweeping up all the glass. You really kind of get to know Misha a little bit here.
She just goes like, why the two of you? And she's like, we're not like together. She's like, actually, I kind of wondered at first,
Yeah.
but no, I know.
I get it. I see you.
I know. And Misha's just like, we're best friends. And he is the most trustworthy person I've ever met. And I forgot what it feels like to have someone like truly in your corner. So you could tell she had been a vampire. Someone would kill for you. Yeah.
I would die for you.
Yeah. And she said a lot of people don't know how to love. And Rain has his flaws, but he knows how to love and cook.
Yeah.
He's a great cook. She goes on and on about his cooking.
Which is weird because they don't need to eat food.
Yes.
They can if they want to.
Well, and Misha asks her, did you actually know about your magic? And Oriah just doesn't really answer. And she's like, yeah, I didn't think so. So we can work on that.
Yeah.
I'll teach you.
Yeah.
I'll help you. So Oriah's in her room and she hears Rain get back and he is quite obviously wasted. And Misha's like, I thought you said you weren't going to do that anymore. And he's like, that's the thing about like forever. We get to make a lot of mistakes over and over and over again. It's cool. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Misha's giving him shit about cutting it so close and about being drunk. And she is like, you shouldn't have done that today. You shouldn't have gone that far. Because he was pushing her. He kept walking towards her and got her to a frightened state. And he's like, I know. And she's like, think about what it must be like for her.
Yeah.
Like growing up like that. And Oriah's like, what?
Why do you pity me, man?
I'm fine.
I'm just a human living in a vampire world.
Misha, I really like Misha's like, we all have our shit. And she's not the reason for yours. You're taking yours out on her.
She is not your shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So you get a little more of them. And
I love how the whole time he's like, I know.
I know.
I know.
Like, and you hear it in like a drunk, like, I know.
I know. Like,
I know. All right.
And she's also like, you're going to be hungover and you're going to have to win this thing tomorrow hungover, you idiot.
She did say that. She's like, you dumbass. The trial's tomorrow. Tomorrow. We do know the waning moon trial is the most unpredictable. It can go many different ways in her journey, in his story. And we hear about a lot of them. Oriah thinks about a lot of them, but they've gone a couple of different ways in the journey. So they're all misted away. And she just comes to these black stone walls on 3 sides of them and a glass ceiling with like this mist where you can't see anything. So I just picture it's like you see a wall and a wall, but like you can't see your hand in front of you this way, right? So she's saying this has got to represent the underside of the earth. So there's like hallways leading through like a maze. Yeah. So this is like the path through the underworld in some way, shape, or form. She weaves around and she comes face to face with Ibrahim. Yeah. The crippled, fangs pulled.
Tragic,
right? So they're kind of, she knows at this point they're wandering like Nyaxia was.
Yeah. And there's 3 tunnels, right? The one that she came from, the one that Ibrahim came from, and then the one before them. Yeah. And so they're both like kind of checking each other out, looking at it for a little bit, and they like slowly go towards it and like start running, but they're not like going after each other yet.
No, they're trying to get to this like door.
Yeah.
They know it, but there's a door down over it, but the next tunnel.
And so then finally, Oriah actually steps on a part of the floor.
Very Indiana Jones.
And this whole like wall moves and this door appears. And she's like, sweet. And so she starts walking towards it. As soon as there's no weight on this, the door slams closed and it's too far to do it. So both of them realize at that point in time that somebody needs to kill the other one.
I just see them both
use
like,
their body.
Shit.
So that way it stays on it. And she's like,
what are we going to do? Who's making
the
first move?
They freaking go. Yeah. They start fighting and everything.
No, he throws a fucking star at her.
What? Like it's hard?
This is when she goes, this is why his parents like did so many things to him.
Yeah.
And he can't walk, he can't bite, he can't do whatever.
But he's still fierce.
But he still has his magic.
He made it into the second portion of this.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So they start fighting.
What's Oraya's strategy?
Oraya's strategy is to survive
1,000 tiny cuts. She just wants to, she does all, because he's really powerful.
Yeah.
So she just does all these tiny, like, poisoned cuts and stabs.
She finally gets to a point where
she weakens him enough.
She weakens him enough that she gets him. And he looks at her.
She just gets him in the gut.
Yeah.
And just drags his ass over.
And plops him down.
And plops him down to hold the door open.
And the door creaks open.
It opens and she goes back to kill him.
Yeah.
And the ground
because
shakes.
It's ever changing. So she jets through the door because she's like, sorry, Ibrahim.
I can't make sure you're dead. I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. See ya.
So she notices as soon as she gets through that doorway and it closes, I just imagine it like closing behind her. This like sweet, sweet scent that has been throughout is super strong now. So she ends up around the next corner looking at Karita, the Shadowborn that had been pointed out.
Yeah.
By Vincent pointed her out. She's seen her throughout. She slams Oraya with her magic, and it's mind magic. So we know that the Bloodborne are able to like control your blood and lock you up in your blood, and you have to break through it. Now we know the Shadowborn, it's more of a mind game.
Yeah.
Oraya realizes the state she's in, but she realizes in this that she can feel her too. And she's tired and she's weak. She's like, she's injured. Yeah. Okay, I can use this to my advantage. Oraya lets her think she's beaten her. And she kind of like slumps over and then gets close enough to drive the dagger through her throat. And then dives through the next door because she's now holding that open. That sweet scent is like super strong now. She's in the middle of a field of poppies, which represent death. So she's definitely like in the underworld at this point. She notices 4 arched doors before her. She hears fighting and all kinds of stuff going on around her, and starts to run towards both and notices this dead body, but there's like red blood around it, not black blood. Vampires have black blood, and it's a lot of red blood.
So we know that there are humans in the maze. That's a human
body. It's a human
and
body.
And she is pissed.
Well, like why? Why are there humans here?
There doesn't need to be humans here.
So she hears these cries and keeps running, goes through the next arched doorway, and it intensifies, and the fields are like denser, and there's more poppies. She sees another human body, and next to it is a child who's alive.
Why would there be a human child here?
She realizes at this point, because they're wearing like these robes and all of that they're playing a part. They're the wandering souls of the underworld. The poppies represent the underworld. They're not even here as prey. They're here like as pawns.
Yeah.
It's so insignificant. This is how insignificant humans are.
And frankly, they're easier to kill to put on a block to open a door than a vampire.
For sure. It's better TV, you know? I do think it's funny how she like doesn't know how to interact with this human child. She like, how do I hold you? Do I have to change your diaper?
Well,
I don't know.
She's got like blood all over her.
Yes.
She's been through battle.
She has.
And she's going up to this scared person, being like, come here.
Yeah.
I won't hurt you.
Well, and meanwhile, Oraya hears Vincent like, leave them. They're dead. They're already dead. Just like Rain said the first night, right? She grabs the little girl anyway.
Yeah, of course.
And goes through the next door, and instantly a bloodborne vampire lurches at her, and she has to like drop the child and like knock her to the ground, and it's got a hold of her blood, right?
Yeah.
And is using the blood magic. She breaks through it enough to get a knife in her thigh. The attacker in the process like bites her wrist, and she like rips her arm away, so she's blood everywhere, smelling delicious.
Yes. Again,
she's moving very slow and like trying to like stab and strike, and she feels Rain yank the vampire off of her. She said with so much force it nearly ripped him in two.
Because he's a big guy.
Oh, Rain. Yay! But now this attacker turns on him. and is like an animal and just all over him. And he left his back open to Araya in this process. They make eye contact. Araya thrusts her blade through his throat. So I imagine like very King of
Behind.
Highburn, right? Like
Yes.
the back of the throat. And it's stabbing through. Then the little girl is running away. Araya, injured, bleeding, runs after her, grabs her, and Rain's like getting up, and he's like, "Oh, I knew you'd be helpful." What the fuck is that? What is going on?
You're not bringing a pet with us.
What is that? What are you doing? The ground rumbles again. So they got to take off. We don't have time to answer questions. The next doors they see are bigger. So this is some sort of end, and they have Alaris's eyes, which Alaris was Nyaxia's lover. Nyaxia, right? Nyaxia's lover, who was arrested and killed for being her lover, her husband. So these are Alaris's eyes peering down at them. Araya sees Rain like move for her and the child, and she hits his shoulder with her blade, like, "Not today!" And he's like, "What are you doing? I wasn't going for that." He pulls his blade from the body, like next to it at the end of the hall, and she's like,
"Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry about that." But he's just like, "What was that for?"
This proves you don't trust me.
And Rain, she's like, "Sorry about that." And he's like, "Go fuck yourself." And they like take off. As they walk, pain just starts to like erupt through them. It's Angelica. She has them. Angelica stabs Araya. They're fighting. Araya's able, and she says it's excruciating, to like break from the blood magic, is able to take the dagger that Angelique stabbed her with and stabs Angelica with it. She is barely conscious at this point. And Rain gets to her at the end. What was Rain doing this whole time?
Watching the cat fight.
He was fighting somebody else, wasn't he?
I don't know.
We're hearing it from Araya's point of view.
Has like a crew that is all around her usually.
That's true. So he was probably fighting like 5 people.
Yeah, the action wasn't there.
He comes up to her and he's like, "It's almost over. Get up. Come on, get up." And she's like, "He's not fucking helping me. And I'm taking this little girl with me. And I'm walking through by myself. I'm not sure I can, but we're going to make this happen." But I'm
doing it.
So she crawls over to like the girl, grabs her in her arms. She's not going to let go. And she's not letting Rain help her. She crosses, falls to her knees. She sees Vincent right away.
Yeah.
And the way he's looking back at
her.
Horrified.
Yes.
Father watching his daughter do this. When I initially read it, I thought he was pissed. And then when I listened to it, I was like, "Oh no."
No, he's horrified.
He's devastated. He's horrified as in, what's happening to my little girl? She's going to die. She's going to lie. So she saw the love in his eyes. She turns to Rain and she's like, "Don't let them take her. Don't let them take her." And she notes for like the second or third time that Rain got so close to her, she's only ever let Vincent get that close to her before. And he just whispers to her, "I won't. I won't.
I won't."
It's really sweet.
And then he probably killed her for lunch.
We don't even know. This is where we're ending, though. Because why not end on a cliffhanger?
Oh, but shh.
Did the girl survive? Did Araya survive?
Is her father mad? Is her father concerned?
Both. Always both. Always both.
Did the baby girl survive?
We don't know. Because there was also the blood magic. So when the blood magic was happening and she was saying how painful it was, she was thinking, "I can barely survive this. How can a little human girl survive this?"
Yeah.
So she might have already been dead. We don't even know.
No, we don't.
She's not.
Spoiler.
She's not
Nicole
already
always
dead.
Spoils everything.
I do. I just want more editing work for future Marisa.
I'm leaving it in there. Everybody should know.
So I think we're definitely going to do 3 parts for this book. First part right now.
I'm hooked.
Where
I'm
you?
freaking hooked.
Yeah.
I want to start reading lore about the different. I'm glad that they're doing duologies. When you first brought this up, and I'm like, but I feel like
You like a series.
I like a big long series.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is cool. It's going to be a deep dive into each one of these segments. Because once they started talking about the Bloodborne, the Night, the Shadow, I'm like, dude, I want to
Yeah.
know more about these histories.
And we're going to get to see it. And here's the thing. Those aren't even a main part of this story.
Yeah.
This is about the Nightborn. And this is about the trials and tribulations in this part. They're part of it, but it's not the main story.
No.
So you know the next duologies, we're getting a whole new world, whole new characters, but still related in the same thing. I love the magic. I love the idea. I like the prevalent themes that are in a lot of fantasy too.
Yeah.
Like the whole Hunger Game, dystopian society and the, game aspect of it. I think it's really cool so far. And I like the characters.
I like the characters a lot too.
Who is your favorite? That's hard. That's a shitty question. Nicole, what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
No.
Nicole, you suck. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I think we like all of them.
So let's list our favorite vampire-ism in this world.
I really think Rain's gonna end up being one of my favorite MMCs.
What does MMC stand for?
Main male character.
Oh.
MFC, main female character.
I have mixed feelings about him right now.
To me, right now in this series, he is one of the most interesting.
He's very interesting.
Because he's got great humor and it's authentic and real, and he's not narcissistic in any way, right? He doesn't have like major character flaws like that. He is kind of like Rhysand and Cassian put together, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like
I could dig
they
that.
were a person to get like all the great things about both of them, maybe. And we don't even really know how powerful he actually is, or really anything about him. Yeah.
No. Well, I mean, we know he's powerful enough to like snap his finger and somebody dies.
Yeah. I think Misha is a beautifully written secondary character so far, and it's only going to get better. And I love Aurea as a
strong female lead, but she's not strong yet. Not until she wins.
But I already can tell I really like her personality and who she is.
Yeah.
The other female main characters that we've read about got annoying at different points, and I don't think she is going to get annoying for me.
Good.
I might eat my words.
Well, I mean, the stuff she complains about are very valid things to complain about. Like, I live with vampires and they want to eat me every day.
And she's more working the system.
It's okay to complain about that.
Yeah, yeah.
It sounds more like strategizing, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's not even really complaining.
No.
Yeah. She's more just like very real.
Yeah.
So much more to her story. I'm liking it. It's a really, like you were saying at the beginning, it's a very good vampire plot line. The world is cool. Really, really cool. And I can't wait to learn more about it. Not only are we reading the first duology, there's a novella about two characters that we're going to meet in the next book. They come into the book and they're already like a couple. Yeah. It's their story of how they became a couple. So you kind of hear like their backstory a little bit.
So should we read that in between the duologies?
We don't
or
have
at the
to.
End?
We can come back if we want to.
Let's come back.
Yeah. It's shorter too, but it's cute. It's really cute. It's a good world. I was going to say, I've said world like 5 times. So I was trying to think of a different word to say for world, but I don't have one.
No, I like how they did vampire culture.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of the hierarchy.
Yeah.
That you don't really see a lot of in other...
Well, it's kind of interesting that there's human districts within the Hyja territories and human districts within the Rashan territories. And Aurea is a human that was taken from the Rashan territories for the Hyja king and is his adopted daughter, human daughter. So,
weird.
And the fact that we know now that Rain is Rashan, something tells me there's going to be some connection that she was taken from Rashan territories.
Who knows?
Technically, she's a Rashan human.
I mean, but human is just cattle. It's like saying you've got a Brazilian cow.
That's true. It's like we used Australian beef, you know?
That's so bad. Can't believe I just said that.
It'll magically be edited out.
What did I say? Nothing.
So thank you for talking high tales with your favorite lit sisters. Bye.
Bye.